Hello everyone, this is Mike Levin of MikeLevinSEO.com, and I'm here on my morning dog walk at about 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday, and my official SEO consulting practice begins on Friday. That is, the contracts that I've won begin Friday, so I'm in a race to finish my tools. So all this stuff I did yesterday, how does that relate to SEO? Hosting a website on a Raspberry Pi. Well, I'm building what I hope will become an SEO reference site. And as I pointed out, I'm traveling a path much less traveled. To launch the website, I'm using the PyGreen web framework, which serves static HTML files unless I override its default behavior. So right off the bat, I am going to have a fast website. The serving times are going to be very fast, which Matt Cutts always says is a factor. You should check those serving times, even though I'm going to be serving it off of a Raspberry Pi, which is a tiny little $35 credit card sized Linux computer. So think about that for a second. The money I won't be spending on hosting or cloud servers or any of that, and the increased level of control I'm going to have. And since I'm putting all the code on GitHub, I can just pull that code down to any other location and change hosting in a heartbeat. What else? So since it's a one-page website, the last decision I made yesterday was to use a responsive design. From an SEO standpoint, that means I will only have one set of master URLs on the website, which will be clean. They'll look like static HTML, and they will also be canonical. There will only be one master version of every URL. I won't need to have a second version for mobile or tablet, because this skeleton CSS responsive framework I'm using adapts dynamically to any display size. So I've got serving speed, I've got canonicalized URLs, one version of the site. I've also got a domain that I've had around for a while that has the keywords in the domain. Not that that's as large of an influence as it used to be, but I do have my name and my field in the URL. And since it's a one-page design still, I'm going to be able to focus in on the basics in a way that is sometimes difficult once the site has expanded out. Not the least of which is site hierarchy and the whole keywording decisions. But even more importantly, at this point, is the code cleanup, if necessary on the skeleton framework, and the meta and micro data. So I'll comb over schema.org to find out what data formats might be appropriate for my website at this point, things like address, so that I'll have as much advantage in the search results as possible, because there is a large embracing of micro data in the search engine world, and it's one of the most underutilized areas for optimization. In that same category, especially now since Google took away verified author thumbnails, is website video sitemap. With a video sitemap, you can specify the videos you're publishing on your site, even if they're YouTube videos, and give them thumbnails and get your site in the search results with a thumbnail next to it instead of, if at all, the YouTube equivalent. That is another huge underutilized aspect of SEO. Decorating your search results however you can. I'll probably avoid the aggregate star rating. That's become sort of a spam outlet these days. And speaking of metadata, microdata, metadata, it's interchangeable. Micro is the established standard now from schema.org and Google, but there's all kinds of metadata you can mark your site up with. And the most important at this point would have to be the Facebook Open Graph tags, which control how your site appears when you share it. if you put a Facebook share button on your page, or someone actually copies and pastes your URL to share it in Facebook, what thumbnail does that get? What text description does that get? Very important for SEO. Social is the word of mouth vector of SEO. So I often describe as SEO being the ignition, the spark that lights the ignition, because people are going to spontaneously find you through search, but those numbers are somewhat low and less than satisfying. So to make SEO work to its fullest, the spark, the ignition, has to become a flame, has to become a torch. And that torch has to be passed on from hand to hand like a baton by word of mouth. And that's the relationship between SEO and social. And there's no better time than when your website is just one page to really think about and nail these issues. And so that's what I'm doing today, and I'm trying to wrap up tools as quickly as possible, move on to client work, of which I will be taking 2 clients per month for a maximum of 2 months at a rate of $5,000 per month, so that I can do the best job possible for each client. And when the engagement gets to the point that anything that can be done has been done, and all the recommendations that can be made have been made, after about 2 months, I'm not going to be the one sitting around pushing on ropes. That's the metaphor I use. And incrementally helping with content expansion strategies. I am going to probably hand that over to people I know in my network and let them do that while I move on to the next set of clients who need that higher level set of strategic engagement, documents and deliverables and talks and training sessions that I fit into 1 or 2 months. So that's what my SEO practice is going to look like. If it's of interest to you, contact me. I'm filling the queue. Thanks for listening, and I hope to talk to you soon. And don't forget, please subscribe.